So in this video, we'll solve mathematics paper 2 variant 2. So the code for this is 3171, but this is part of the mathematics syllabus D, May-June 2021. So this paper was conducted in, I think, July of 2021. So that's why it has a different code, but the syllabus is the same. So this will be helpful in your preparation for mathematics D syllabus. So let's start with question number 1, part A. One day, 12 employees in an office recorded the distance they drove to work and the time it took. The table shows the distance in kilometers and the times in minutes. So you have distance here on the x-axis and time here on y-axis. On the grid, complete the scatter diagram. The first 6 points have been plotted for you. So you have to start from this. Distance is 35, time is 40. So 35 is this and 40 is this point here. And then you have 30 and 29. Distance is 30 and sorry, distance is 20 and 29. So 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 32 and 40. So 32 and 40. 35 and 48. 35, 48 will be 2 below 50 here. 22 and 33. So 22 and 30, 31, 32, 33. And then the last one is 39 and 46. So 39, 45, 46 will be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is how you will plot these points. Part 2 is what type of correlation does the scatter diagram show? So it's a positive correlation because as the distance increases, the time in minutes is also increasing. So it's a positive correlation. Draw a line of best fit on the scatter diagram. So you have to draw a line which basically passes through the points, as many points as possible, and distributes it on both sides of the line evenly. So let me try this line here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on the other side of the line. So this could be one possible line of best fit through these points. Another employee drove a distance of 30 kilometers to work. Use your line of best fit to estimate how many minutes they took. So now you have to read the value of time when your distance is 30 kilometers. So 30 is this. I'll draw a straight line and it intersects my line of best fit here. So now I'll read off my time value here. So it's in the middle of this small block like this. So this is around 39.5. So this is 39, 39.5, and then 40. So the value from my line of best fit is 39.5 minutes. Part B is there are 150 employees at the company. The table shows the distances in kilometers each employee travels to work. So 25 employees travel between 0 and 10 kilometers. 28 employees travel between greater than 10 but less than equal to 20 kilometers, and so on. Calculate the percentage of employees who travel more than 25 kilometers to work. So this percentage will be number of employees who travel more than 25 kilometers divided by total employees and then multiplied by 100. So what is the number of, so total employees is 150. So you know your denominator is 150. Number of employees who travel more than 25. So 19 travel between 30 to 60. So these are part of this group who travel more than 25 kilometer. This group is also included because distance is greater than 25. That's what you're looking for and less than 30. So 36 plus 19. And this is not part of it because you're looking for more than 25. So this group is greater than 20 but less than equal to 25. So more than 25 starts from this group and of course this group as well. So 36 plus 19 is 55 over 150 multiplied by 100 as well. So multiplied by 100. 55 divided by 150 and multiplied by 100. So up till three significant figures, this is 36.7%. Calculate an estimate of the mean distance. So mean here will be, since you are given, you're not given exact values of distances, you're given different class intervals, 0 to 10, 10 to 20. So to calculate the mean, I'll first find the mid values of these intervals, because that's why the question asks you to estimate, because you do not know the exact, like how many people drove 7 kilometers, how many people drove 3 kilometers. You're given class intervals here. So when you're given class intervals, you find the mid values of each interval. So mid distance I can call it. So this is 0 to 10, the mid value is 5. 10 to 20, mid value is 15. 20 to 25, mid value is 20 plus 25. 45 divided by 2 is 22.5. 25 to 30, mid value will be 30 plus 25 divided by 2, which is 27.5. And then you have 30 to 60, mid value is 30 plus 60 divided by 2, which is 45 here. So to calculate the mean, I will multiply the frequencies. Let's call them mid values m, and then add all the frequencies as well. So take the product, all of the products, and then add them together, and then sigma f. So let me show you what I mean. So 25 multiplied by 5 plus this frequency multiplied by the mid distance, 28 multiplied by 15 plus 42 multiplied by 22.5 plus 36 multiplied by 27.5 plus 19 multiplied by 45 and divided by sum of all these frequencies. We already know that it's 150. So let's calculate the numerator here. 25 multiplied by 5, 28 into 15, 42 into 22.5, 36 into 27.5 plus 19 into 45. So this is 3,335 divided by 150. So this divided by 150 is 22.2 kilometers up till three significant figures. So this is 22.2. Question number 2, part A. Zara works for 5 days each week. Each day she works from 8 until 12:30 and then from 13:15 until 1700. She is paid $15.40 per hour. Work out how much Zara earns in 1 week. So first we need to calculate how many hours she works in 1 week. For that, we'll start with hours worked in 1 day. So hours worked in 1 day by Zara in 1 day will be, so she works from 8 until 12:30. So her finish time is 12:30. Her start time is 8 o'clock. So this plus she then again works from 13:15 till 17:00. So her end time is 17:00 minus 13:15. So let's do these here. So 12:30 minus 0800. So 0, 3, 12 minus 8. So this is 4 hours and 30 minutes plus 1700 minus 1315. So this time I'll have to take carry. So this will be 16 and I'll take 60 minutes here. So this will be 60. So 60 minus 15 is 45 and 16 minus 13 is 3. So this is 3 hours and 45 minutes. Now I need to convert these minutes into hours as well because my pay rate is per hour. So 4 hours 30 minutes is 4.5 plus 3 hours, so 45 minutes. If I need to convert these 45 minutes into hours, I will divide them by 60. So 45 divided by 60 is 0.75. So 3 plus 0.75 will give me 3.75. So 3 hours 45 minutes is 3.75 hours. So 3.75 plus 4.5. So 8.25 hours is the amount of time Zara works in one day. So hours worked in 1 week will be 8.25 multiplied by 5 because she works 5 days a week. So this multiplied by 5. 41.25 hours is the number of hours she works in 1 week. And then weekly pay will be number of hours worked in 1 week, 41.25 multiplied by her salary per hour, which is 15.40. So this multiplied by 15.40, $635.25. So 635.25. Samuel works for 40 hours each week. He is paid $13.60 per hour. He pays 7.5% of his total earnings in tax. The rest of his earnings are paid into his bank account. Calculate the amount paid into his bank account each week. So let's first start with Samuel's weekly pay. So weekly pay here will be, he works 40 hours, salary is 13.60 per hour. So weekly pay is 40 multiplied by 13.60, which is $544. Now he pays 7.5% of his weekly earnings in tax. So 100% minus 7.5%, you're left with 100 minus 7.5. 92.5% is the pay that is left after the tax deduction, and that is the amount that is paid into the bank account. So amount paid into bank after tax deduction is equals to 92.5% of the total pay, which is 544. So 92 points, so this will be 92.5 divided by 100 multiplied by 544. 92.5 divided by 100 into 544, which is equals to 503.2, or you can say 20 cents. So $503.20. You can also calculate 7.5% of 544 and then subtract it from 544, you'll get the same answer. So 7.5 divided by 100 into 544, 40.8, and if you subtract this, you get the same answer. So both methods are correct. Part C, Jacob invests $750 in an account that pays 2.1% per year simple interest. Mary invests $750 into an account that pays P% per year compound interest. They each leave the money in their account for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, there is the same amount of money in each account. Calculate your value of P. So after 5 years, both accounts have the same money. So for Jacob's account, we are given all the information. We can actually calculate the amount in Jacob's account after 5 years, and then we can try to find what how much amount is in Mary's account using the compound interest formula, and then equate it to the amount that we calculated in Jacob's account, because both of these are same at the end of 5 years. So amount in Jacob's account after 5 years. So this is simple interest. So formula for simple interest is principal multiplied by 1 plus rate into time in years divided by 100. So what is the principal amount invested? 750. 1 plus rate is 2.1. Time in years is 5 years divided by 100. So let's calculate this. 2.1 multiplied by 5 divided by 100 plus 1 into 750. So this is $828.75. So this is the amount in Jacob's account after 5 years, and this is also the amount in Mary's account after 5 years, because we are told that they have the same amount. But the difference is this is now compound interest for Mary's account. So amount in Mary's account after 5 years. So this will be equal to the principal multiplied by 1 plus rate over 100 to the power t time in years. So this is the formula for the compound interest. So we know that the amount is what? 828, 828.75. Principal is 750. 1 plus your rate is p% over 100. Time again is 5 years. So now you have to calculate the value of p. So if I take the 750 to the other side, it will be divided. So let me write it the other way around. 1 plus p over 100 power 5. So 828.75 divided by 750. 1.105. And if I take this power 5 to the other side, 1 plus p over 100, it will be fifth root of 1.105, which I can also write as 1.105. Fifth root is basically power 1 over 5. So 1 plus p over 100 will be, let's calculate this power 1 over 5. So this is 1.02017. So p will be, take this 1 to the other side, it will be subtracted. So 1.02017 minus 1. And if I take this 100 to the other side, it will be multiplied. So 1.02017 minus 1 into 100. So P is 2.017, and we have to write our answer correct to 2 decimal places. So if I round it to 2 decimal places, this will be 2.02. So your value of P is 2.02. Question number 3, part A, complete the table for y equals to minus x cube over 2 plus 3x plus 1. So our missing value is when x equals to minus 3. So let's substitute here y equals to minus and then minus 3 cube over 2 plus 3 into minus 3 plus 1. So minus 3 cube will be minus 27, and then minus 27 multiplied by this minus sign will become plus 27. 27 over 2, this will be minus 9 plus 1. So 27 divided by 2 minus 9 and then plus 1. So this is 5.5. So your value here is 5.5. Part B is you have to draw the graph for the given range here between x minus 3 and 3. So let's plot the points first. So minus 3 and 5.5 will be, so each small block represents 0.2, 5, 5.2, 5.4, and 5.5 will be in the middle here between 5.2 and 5, sorry, 5.4 and 5.6. Between 5.4 and 5.6, you have 5.5. Minus 2 and minus 1 will be here. Then you have minus 1.5 and minus 1.8, which is here. Minus 1 and minus 1.5 is here. 0 and 1 is here. 1 and 3.5 is here. 1.5 and 3.8. 1.5 and 3.8 is this. 2 and 3. 2 and 3 is this. And 3 and minus 3.5. So minus 3.5 is here. So this is the plot of the points. Now let's try to join them through a smooth curve. So it will look like something like this. Part C is by drawing a tangent, estimate the gradient of the curve at x equals to 2. So let's go back to the curve. X equals to 2 is over here. So we will draw a line, a straight line that just touches the curve at x equals to 2. So let me try to draw that line here. No. Okay, let's try again. So it will look something like this. Touches the curve at x equals to 2. Now we can take any 2 points on this line to find the gradient. So let's look at this x-intercept, which is at 2.5. So this is 2.9. This point here is 2.9 and 0. X value is 2.9 and y value is 0. And then we can take this value here at the end. Y value is 6 and x value is 1.1. So 1.1. So these are the 2 points that I will use to calculate my gradient of the curve. So 1.1 and 6, 1.1 and 6, and the other point is 2.9 and 0. So my gradient m will be y2 minus y1, 6 minus 0 over 1.1 minus 2.9. So this will be 6 divided by 1.1 minus 2.9 minus 1.8. So 6 divided by minus 1.8 is minus 3.33. So this is the gradient of the curve at x equals to 2, minus 3.33. Next part is by drawing a suitable line on the grid, estimate the solutions of equation x cube over 2 plus 1 equals to 2x. So it looks similar to the equation that we are given in the question. Let me rewrite it down here. So we are given in the question y equals to minus x cube over 2 and plus 3x plus 1 plus 3x plus 1. Since we are given the graph of this, I will try to make one side of this equation look exactly like this so we can utilize that graph. So if you look at the equation given here, you have x cube over 2 plus 1. So you have x cube over 2 plus 1 equals to 2x. Now I have here minus x cube over 2. So I will take this to the other side. I will have 1 equals to minus x cube over 2 equals to 2x. Oh, sorry, plus 2x. This 2x here. And so here we have 3x. Here we have 2x. So I will simply add x on this side and add x on this side. So I will get 1 plus x equals to minus x cube over 2 plus 3x. And then I have plus 1 as well. So I will add 1 here and I will add 1 here as well on both sides of the equation. So 1 plus 1 will become 2 plus x equals to minus x cube over 2 plus 3x plus 1. Now this side of my equation is exactly the same as this, and the other side of my equation is 2 plus x. So that means the other equation that I'm looking for is y equals to 2 plus x. So if we try to solve them simultaneously, eliminate this variable y, we get this equation because we started from this and we created these two equations. So to find the solution from the graph, I need to draw the line, straight line for this equation y equals to 2 plus x, and the intersection of this line of this equation with the curve of this equation, the intersection points will basically give me the solutions for x. So I have to plot y equals to 2 plus x. So let's take any two values. Let's take x equals to 0. If I substitute x equals to 0, my y value is 2. And let's say I substitute x equals to minus 2, my y value is 0. 2 minus 2 will be 0. So I have these 2 points that I can use to plot my line. X is 0, y is 2, which is this point here, and x is minus 2, and y is 0, which is this point here. So I will join them through a straight line, and the intersection of this line with the curve will give me my solutions. So I have 3 intersection points. This one, this here, and this here. So let's write down the x values. So this is minus 2, minus 2.1, minus 2.2. So this intersection is at x equals to minus 2.2. This intersection here is at x equals to 0.4. And this intersection here is x equals to 1.567, 1.7. So minus 2.2, 0.4, and 1.7. These are my 3 solutions, or 3 values of x. So minus 2.2, 0.4, and 1.7. Question number 4, part A, you're given universal set which comprises of integers from 1 to 10. P is a set of prime numbers, and F is a set of numbers which are factors of 18. Complete the Venn diagram. So P represents this set, F is here. So let's first list down the numbers. Your universal set is every number from 1 to 10, where x is an integer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And P is a set of numbers from this universal set which are prime numbers. So which are prime numbers here? 1 is not a prime number, since the definition of prime number is it should have two different factors. So 1 has only one factor, which is itself 1. So it does not have two different factors. 2 is a prime number because 2 has two factors and both are different. One of them is 1, the other is 2 itself. 3 is also prime factor because it has 1 and 3 as its factors. 4 is not. 5 is a prime number. And then 6 is not. 7 is also a prime number. 8, 9, 10 are not. And then you can see here 1 is given already here, and it is not part of this set P, which is a prime number set of prime numbers. So 1 is outside. 1 is a factor of 18, so it is part of this set F. Yeah, so 1 is, so these are these set numbers. So let me represent here by arrows here, so it's more clear. So let's look at the numbers inside set F, which are factors of 18. 1 is a factor of 18, 2 is also 18 is divisible by 3, so 3 is also a factor. 4 is not, 5 is not, 6 is also a factor of 18, 7 is not, 8 is not, 9 is a factor of 18 as well, and 10 is not. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 are part of F. So now let's complete this Venn diagram. We first start with the intersection. So intersection means what are the numbers that are common between P and F. So 2 is in both, 3 is in both. So, and then 5, 6, no other common numbers. So 2 and 3 will be in this intersection because they're common in both. They're present in both of these sets P and F. So now let's write down the remaining numbers in set P. So you already written 2, 3 here. 5, 7 are the other two, 5 and 7. For F, 1 is already given, 2 and 3 are already written, 6 and 9. And then the remaining numbers will be outside here. So 1 is here, 2, 3, 4 is missing, so 4 is outside. 5 is here, 6, 7, 8 is missing, so 8 is here. 9, 10 is missing, so 10 is here as well. So that's how you will complete this Venn diagram. Write down the elements in P intersection F. So this is the region of P intersection F. The elements are 2 and 3. State the number of elements in P complement union F complement. So P complement is everything outside of this P. So this is P. Everything outside of P is P complement. So 6, 9, 1, 6, 9, 1, they are outside, and 4, 8, 10 are also outside. 4, 8, and 10. So this is P complement. What is F complement? Everything outside of this set F. Everything outside F is 5, 7, 4, 8, 10. 5, 7, 4, 8, 10. Now, P complement union F complement is all the numbers in P complement and all the numbers in F complement, but you have to make sure you don't repeat any numbers. So let's first write down all the numbers in P complement: 6, 9, 1, 4, 8, 10, and then combined with all the elements in F complement, but making sure you don't repeat any numbers. So 5, 7, 4, 8, 10 are already present. So this is P complement union F complement. The question asks you to state the number of elements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 elements inside this set P complement union F complement. Part B is Tara has these 10 numbers 1, 2, 3 till 10. She takes one of the 10 cards at random. Find the probability that the card shows a square number. So probability that you get a square number. So how many numbers are square numbers? 1 is a square number because 1 square is 1. 4 is a square number, 2 square is 4. And then 9 is a square number, 3 square is 9. So 3 numbers inside, 3 numbers from all these cards are square numbers out of the total 10 cards. So probability is 3 over 10. Tara takes one of the 10 cards at random, notes the number, and replaces it. She repeats this, work out the probability that both cards show multiples of 4. Give your answer as a fraction in its lowest terms. So you have to find probability both cards are multiple of 4. So let's look at this these cards and see which are multiples of 4. 4 itself is a multiple of 4, and then 8 is a multiple of 4. So 2 out of the 10 cards are multiples of 4. So the probability that you get both cards as multiple of 4 is probability that you get first card first is multiple of 4 and second is also multiple of 4. That's when you will have both cards that are multiple of 4. Second is multiple of 4. So basically, you're going to multiply these two probabilities. Probability first is multiple of 4 multiplied by, because there is an and here, probability second is multiple of 4. So when you're picking the cards, what is the probability that first is multiple of 4? You have two cards that are multiple of 4 out of the 10. Multiplied by second is also multiple of 4. Remember, she replaces it. That means she picks the card, notes down the number, and puts the card back in the deck. So when you're picking the second card, you still have the full deck. And from the full deck, you have again two cards that are multiple of 4 out of the 10 total cards. So this is 4 over 100, and you have to give the fraction in its lowest terms. So 4 times 1 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 10. 4 times 2 is 8, 2 remaining 20, 25. So 1 over 25 is your probability that both cards show multiples of 4. Part 3 is Tara takes 2 of the 10 cards at random. So now this time without replacement, work out the probability that at least one of the cards shows a number greater than 7. So you have to find the probability that at least one card is greater than 7. So how can you, so you're picking two cards. What are the possible outcomes in which you have one card that is greater than 7? So the first probability, first outcome is if you have, so I'm representing first with F. If you get the first card that is greater than 7 and the second card is less than equal to 7. In this, if you pick these two, you have at least one card that is greater than 7, which was your first card. The second one was less than or equal to 7. So you're looking for greater than 7, right? So at least one card that is greater than 7. In this case, your first one was greater than 7, but the second one was less than or equal to 7. But it could be the other way around as well. Your first card, or the other possible outcome is your first card is less than equal to 7, but your second card is greater than 7. If this happens, you still have at least one card greater than 7, which was your second card. But there is a third case as well, where your first card is greater than 7 and your second card is also greater than 7. This time you also have at least one card greater than 7. In fact, you have two cards greater than 7. That is also correct because you're looking for at least one of the two. Both can be greater as well. So these are the three possible outcomes in which you will end up with at least one card that was greater than 7. So you have to now find the probability of this happening or this happening or this, and then you're adding the three probabilities. So the first one is probability that first is greater than 7 and second is less than equal to 7. Or means you're adding probability. Now first is less than equal to 7 and second is greater than 7. Greater than 7. Or the third case in which both are greater than 7. So probability first is greater than 7 and second is also greater than 7. So let me draw a line here. So this is different. So these are the three probabilities that you will add up to find your answer. So now, how many numbers are greater than 7? You have three numbers that are greater than 7 and seven numbers that are less than or equal to 7. So when you're picking the first card, what is the probability that the first card is greater than 7? 3 over 10, because you have 3 that are greater than 7 out of the total 10. And now this is without replacement. So that means if you have picked the first card, it's not going back into the deck. So multiplied by, when you're picking the second one, what is the probability? It is less than equal to 7. You have how many less than equal to 7? 7 cards. But now your total are 9 because you've already picked one and you did not replace it. So it is without replacement. Plus, now you're back to picking the first card again from the full deck. What is the probability that the first one is less than equal to 7? You have 7 cards that are less than equal to 7 out of the total 10. So 7 over 10 multiplied by, now you are left with 9 total cards. And how many are greater than 7? 3. Because the first one you picked was among these. It was less than equal to 7. So you still have 3 cards that are greater than 7. So this is 3 over 9. And now let's calculate this last one. Picking the first card, which is greater than 7, is 3 over 10. Because you have 3 that are greater than 7 out of the total 10. Multiplied by, now you're picking the second one. So you have 9 total cards remaining. And how many cards are greater than 7? Initially you had 3, but you picked one of these 3. Doesn't matter which one, but initially you had 3. Now you're left with 2 cards because the first one you picked was also greater than 7. So how many greater than 7 cards remain? 2 out of the total 9. So now let's add all these. There's no P here. So this is 21 over 90 plus this is also 21 over 90 plus 6 over 90. So this is 42, 48 over 90. And both are divisible by 6. 6 times 8 is 48. And 6 times 1 is 6. 3 remaining 30, 15. So 8 over 15 in the simplest form. So this is the probability 8 over 15 that at least one card is greater than 7 when you pick 2 cards without replacement. Question number 5. The diagram shows a water tank in the shape of a prism with an open top. The cross section of the tank ABCD is a trapezium. The base of the tank is a rectangle. All dimensions are in meters. AD is equals to BC equals to FG equals to GEH. Show that the depth d meter of the tank is 0.477. Correct to 3 significant figures. So this is your depth that you have to show is equal to 0.477. So you're given this length 0.50 and d is this perpendicular depth of the tank. So if I draw this line here like this, which makes a 90-degree angle, this is my depth d of the tank. And similarly on the other side as well, I draw a vertical line which makes an angle of 90 degree. This is also d. And since these two lengths are equal, that means this length is also equal to this length. So this is your trapezium and you're given that this length is same as this length. So this length will also be equal to this length here. Now you know that this full length is 0.95. So this full length here is 0.95. And let's call this length x. So this will be also be x. And you know that this length here is 0.65. From this, I can calculate the value of x, and then using this right angled triangle, I can use the Pythagoras theorem to find the value of d. So if this is x, and this is 0.65, then 0.65 plus x will be 0.95, this full length here. So this will give you x equals to 2x equals to 0.95 minus 0.65, which is 0.3, and x will be 0.3 divided by 2, which is 0.15. So now you know this length here is 0.15. This is the hypotenuse, this is the perpendicular height of this triangle. So using the Pythagoras theorem, 0.50 square will be equal to d square plus this side x, which is 0.15 square. So d will be under root 0.50 square minus 0.15 square. So 0.5 square minus 0.15 square, and then square root of this, which is 0.4766969, and up to three significant figures, this is 0.477. Calculate the surface area of the tank. So area of your tank will be the sum of areas of all these sides. Remember, it's an open top, so the top side we will not use in calculating the surface area. So let's start with the bottom. Bottom is you're given that it's a rectangle. The base of the tank is a rectangle. So area of the base is this side multiplied by this side, which is 0.65 multiplied by 1.60 plus, let's look at this right hand side. This is a rectangle as well. BCGF is a rectangle, and its area will be 1.60 multiplied by 0.50. 1.60 multiplied by 1 0.50, not 1.5, 0.50. And this area is the same as the area of this left hand side, which is the rectangle AEHD. So AEHD is the same as this. So I'll simply just multiply this area by 2 to get both the right and left hand side. Now let's look at the front side. It's a trapezium, and area of trapezium is 1 by 2 into height. Height of this trapezium is d, which is 0.477, multiplied by the sum of parallel sides. These two sides are parallel, 0.65 plus 0.95. And so this is the front. The back, EHGF, this is the back side, is also the same trapezium. So I'll just simply multiply it by 2 to get both front and back. So this is bottom, right and left side, front and back side. So now let's add them all together. Plus 4.2. This 2 and 2 will cancel out, so I'll just simply calculate this. So I'll add them now. I think I made a mistake somewhere. So 0.65 into 1.60 is 1.04, and then 1.60 multiplied by 0.5 multiplied by 2. This is 1.6 plus 1.04 plus 0.7632. So your area here is 3.4032 or 3.40 meters square in three significant figures. Part C is the diagram shows the cross section of this tank. The tank contains water to a depth of 0.3. Show that W equals to 0.84, correct to two significant figures. So you have to find this value, which is W. Now, if you look at the triangles that we had in the previous part, which was this. So this one, you have 0.15. This length here is 0.15 up till here. And this is the depth D, which was 0.477, 0.477. Now, if I look at this larger triangle, it is similar to this smaller triangle which is inside. So W will be basically, if I draw this line here as well. So let's call this length here Y. And you're given that this full length depth is 0.477 and this depth of water is 0.30, right? So this larger triangle is similar to this interior triangle. So we can use the properties of similar triangles to find this value of y. So let me actually draw these two triangles outside here. So this is the larger one. This angle here is 90 degrees. So this is 90. This side is 0.15 and this side is 0.477. And this is the internal smaller triangle. This side is y. This is the depth of water, which is 0.30. So using the properties that the ratio, so why are they similar first? This angle is equal to this angle because these two are parallel lines and we know that these are two corresponding angles which should be equal. Then this is 90 degree and we know that this is also 90 degree. Again, parallel lines, corresponding angles. And this angle here is common between the two triangles. So all three angles are same. That's why these two triangles are similar. So y over 0.30 will equal 0.15 over 0.477. So y will be 0.15 divided by 0.477 multiplied by 0.30. So this is 0.0943 meters. Now your W is this length, which is 0.65 plus this y and plus this y. So plus 2y basically. So 0.65 plus 2 into 0.0943. So 0.65 plus 2 into 0.0943, which is 0.8386. And correct to two significant figures, this will be 0.84 meters. That's what you have to show. Calculate the area of the surface of the water in the tank. So your area will be, so basically if you are looking down from the top, you have to find the area of the top of the surface of the water. So if I go back to the 3D diagram here, your top of the water will look something like this. So you have water inside this tank up till this certain height, right? So this is all water. Now, if you look from the top, you have to find this surface area, which is a rectangle, which has this side was W here. So this side here is W, and the other side here is 1.60. So your area is basically W multiplied by 1.60. So W is 0.84 multiplied by 1.60. 0.84 multiplied by 1.60, which is 1.344 or 1.34 meter square if you want to write it up to three significant figures. Question number 12, the diagram shows a field ABCD and then you're given these lengths in meters. Part A is Kareem and Nabila are running in the field. Kareem starts from B at the same time as Nabila starts from D. So Kareem is starting here, Nabila is starting from D. Kareem runs from B to C. Uh, Nabila runs from D to C at a speed of 12.2 kilometers per hour, and Kareem runs from B to C at 11.5 kilometers per hour. Work out how much time Kareem waits at C before Nabila arrives, giving your answer in minutes and seconds, correct to the nearest second. So that means Kareem reaches C first and then he waits for some time before Nabila arrives. So first we need to calculate how much time they take, each of them. So Kareem, how much time Kareem takes for running from B to C, and how much time Nabila takes for to cover this 750 meters in this direction. So since your distance is given in meters and your answer is also required in minutes and seconds, I will convert these speeds into meters per second so that the time I get is in seconds, and then I can easily convert it into minutes and seconds. So let's first say time taken by Kareem is the distance, which is 425 meters, divided by the speed. So Kareem's speed is 11.5 kilometers per hour. If I want to convert it into meters per second, um, I will multiply by 1000 to convert kilometers into meters and then divide it by hour. So how many seconds are in 1 hour? 1 hour is 60 minutes and each minute is 60 seconds. So this is 3600 seconds. So 3600 seconds. So 11.5 into 1000 divided by 3600. So the speed here is 3.194 meters per second. So distance divided by speed, 425 divided by the answer. So 133.043 seconds is the time taken by Kareem. So now let's calculate time. Let me actually go down a little bit. Time taken by Nabila. So this will be distance, which is 750 divided by, again, we have to convert the speed. Nabila's speed is 12.2 kilometers per hour. So 12.2 multiplied by 1000 divided by 3600. 12.2 into 1000 divided by 3600. So this is 3.389. So 750 divided by answer is 221.311 seconds. So how long Kareem waits? So the waiting time for Kareem will be basically the difference between the time taken, right? Kareem arrives in 133 seconds and then he has to wait until 221 seconds have passed from their starting journey. So both start at time t equals to 0 here. Time t is equals to 0. When Kareem arrives, it's 133.043 seconds, and Nabila takes 221.311 seconds. So the difference is actually the waiting time, the time that Kareem waits at sea before Nabila arrives. So wait time is 221.311 minus 133.043. 221.311 minus 133.043. So this is 88.268 seconds. Since I have to write it correct to the nearest second, this will be 88 seconds. And then I have to give my answer in minutes and seconds. So 1 minute is 60 seconds. So this is 1 minute and 28 seconds. 1 minute and 28 seconds is the waiting time. B is due east of A and D is due south of A. B is on a bearing of 035 degrees from D. So B, this is the bearing of B from D, which is 35 degrees. Calculate AD. AD is this length. So ABD is a right angled triangle. I know this perpendicular height. I know this angle. I have to find this base, which is AD. So I will use tan of 35. So tan of your angle ADB, angle ADB will be equals to the perpendicular, which is AB, divided by the base, which is AD. So AD will be AB divided by tan of ADB. AB is 285 and this is tan of 35. So 285 divided by tan of 35. So this is 407.022, or up till three significant figures, this will be 407 meters. 407. Calculate the bearing of C from D. So bearing of, let me just erase this. Bearing of C from D is this angle here. So I know this is 35. If I can find the rest of this angle, this plus this will be this full bearing. So how can I calculate this? This is part of this triangle DBC. I know this side, I know this side. I can find this side because I know AD is 407. This is a right angle triangle, so this is the hypotenuse. So once I can find this side, I know three sides of this triangle and I need to calculate this angle. So I can use the cosine rule. So once I have this angle, I will add it to 35 to get the bearing of C from D. So first let's calculate this length BD. BD is the hypotenuse, so BD square will be 407 square plus 285 square using the Pythagoras theorem. So BD will be the square root of this 407 square plus 285 square. So 407 square plus 285 and then square root. So this is 496.86 meters. 496.86. Now I will try to find this angle using the cosine rule because I know all three sides of this triangle BDC. So this angle, the opposite side is this. So using the cosine rule, it will be 425 square equals to the squares of two other sides and adding them together. So that will be 750 square plus 496.86 square minus 2 times this side 750, this 496.86 into cos of this angle BDC. Angle BDC. So your angle BDC. So I'll take this to the other side and this to the other side. It will be subtracted. So this will be 425 square minus 750 square minus 496.86 square. And then this is being multiplied here. So when I take it to the other side, it will go into the denominator on the other side. So this will be divided by minus 2 into 750 into 496.86. This is 0.8436 and BDC will be the cos inverse of this. So this is 32.475. So now bearing that you have to calculate of C from D. So this bearing will be this 35 plus you calculated this was this value 32.475. So I will add these two to get the bearing. So this is 35 plus 32.475. So 35 plus 32.475. This is 67.475, or you can say 67.5 degrees. Or you, for bearing, you can add a zero here as well. 06.5 degree is your bearing of C from D. Question number 7, part A. Here are the first four terms of a sequence: 1, 7, 13, 19. Find an expression for the nth term of the sequence. So to get the next term, you're adding 6 each time, right? Plus 6, plus 6. So your first term, and the value. So your first term is 1. So your second term is 1 plus 6, which is 7. Third term is 1 plus 6, another plus 6, which is 13. And fourth term is the third term plus another 6, which is 19. So for the nth term, you will have 1 plus. So how many times you add 6? For the second term, you added 6 once. For the third term, you added 6 2 times. For the fourth term, you added 6 3 times. So each time, this is 1 less than the term number. So how many times do you add? It is 1 less than the term number. So for the nth term, how many 6's you will add? N minus 1, 1 less than the term number. 1 plus 6n minus 6, and this will be 6n minus 5. 6n minus 5. Part 2 is Lee says there are no even numbers in this sequence. Use the expression for the nth term to explain why he is correct. So nth term is this 6n and then minus 5. So if you look at this expression, 6 times n, 6n is always even. No matter if you multiply 6 by an odd number like 3, you will get an even number. Or if you multiply it with an even number like 4, you get the product is an even number. So 6 times n is always even, and 5 is odd. So you're basically subtracting an odd number from an even number. 6n is even, 5 is odd. And we know that even minus odd number is always an odd number. So this is how you will explain. Your 6n is even, 5 is odd, and even minus odd is always an odd number. So all the numbers in this sequence will be odd numbers, or there are no even numbers in this sequence. Part B is, here are the first four terms of a different sequence. Find an expression for the nth term of this sequence. So we'll treat the numerators and the denominators separately. So first let's find the nth term for the numerator. So your first term is 2. So if you look at these terms, 2, 4, 8, 16, each time you are multiplying by 2, right? To get the next term. So these are all basically powers of 2. First term is 2. Second term is what? 2 times 2, which is 2 square, which is 4. Third term is what? Second term and then multiplied by 2, which is 2 power 3 or 8. Fourth term is what? The third term multiplied by 2, which is 2 power 4. So if you, this is 2 power 1. So if you look at the powers of 2, they are basically the term number. First term is 2 power 1, second term is 2 power 2, third term is 2 power 3, fourth term is 2 power 4. So the nth term will be 2 power n. So this is the numerator. Now let's look at the denominators. First term is 9, second term is 16, third term is 25, fourth term is 36. So if you look at these numbers, these are all square numbers. This is 3 square, 4 square, 5 square, 6 square, and so on. So for the first term, you have 2 square, second term is 4 square, third term is 5 square, fourth term is 6 square. So for, if you look at the term number, so this is the term and this is the value. So each time you are adding 2 to the term number and then taking the square, right? So 2 plus 2 is 4 and then you take the square. 3 plus 2 is 5, then you take the square. 4 plus 2 is 6 and then you take the square. So for the nth term, you will add 2 to the term number, which is n, and then you will take the square. So this is the denominator. So overall, the nth term of the sequence will be 2 power n, which is the nth term for the numerator, divided by the nth term for the denominator, which is n plus 2 whole square. Part C is the nth term of another sequence is given by this. Un is 3n square minus 6n plus 5. The first term in the sequence with a value greater than 2000 is u of k. Find the value of k. So u of n is this. So u of k will be, which is the, u of k is the value greater than 2000, right? So u of k will be 3 times k square minus 6n plus 5. Oh, sorry, 6k. This gives you value u of k, which you are told is greater than 2000. So you have to find the value of k, which is the term number, which is the first term that gives you the value greater than 2000 in this sequence. So you have a sequence and you go from 1, 2, and so on. And when you get to the kth term, the value is something greater than 2000, right? So I can write this as 3k square minus 6k plus 5. To find the value of k, I will use an equal sign here. So this will give me the value of k for which this expression is equal to 2000. Since we are looking for a number greater than 2000, whatever value of k I get, I will take the next larger integer of k, since k is an integer because it is the term number. So your term number cannot be a term number, is always one, first term, second term, third term, fourth term. It's always an integer. So let's solve for this, and then whatever value of k we get, we will take the next integer value of k, and that will give us value greater than 2000, because when we solve this equation, we will get a value of k which will give us exactly equal to 2000. So we are interested in the k value that gives us greater than 2000. So let's solve for this. Minus 6k. If I bring this here, this will be minus 1995 equals to 0. So k will be, I'll use the quadratic formula, minus minus 6 plus minus square root b square minus 6 square minus 4ac 3 and minus 1995 divided by 2 times 3. So this will be plus, I'll separate out the two values, divide by 6, and the other value will be k equals to 6 minus this square root over 6. So let's calculate the value inside the square root. 6 square is 36, minus 4 into 3 into minus 1995. So this is 23976. So let's calculate this. 6 plus 23976 divided by 6, which is 26.8 here, and the other value of k is 6 minus square root of 23, which is minus 24.80. So this is not applicable. Negative value, we will throw it away because k is again the term number. So your term number in the sequence, you have first term, second term, third term, fourth term, and so on. You don't have a negative term number. So you will not consider the negative value. So now you have k equals to 26.8, which I substitute into this. If I substitute into this equation, I get exactly 2000. But since k cannot be a decimal number, it has to be an integer, and I want a value which is greater than 2000. So I will take the next largest integer. So if you look at 26, and then you have 26.8, and then you have 27. So in the number line. So 27 is the next largest integer after 26.8. So k will be 27. And to double check, you can also substitute the value here. So let's do that. 27 square into 3 plus minus 6 into 27 plus 5. So 27th value in the sequence is 2030, which is greater than 2000. And if I look at the 26th value, let's substitute 26 here. This is 1877. So your 26th value is this, 27th value is this. So 27th value, or k is equals to 27, is the first term in the sequence that has a value greater than 2000, which is 2030. All the previous values, 26th, 25th, and so on, are all less than 2000 and 2000. So the first value greater than 2000 is 2030, which is the 27th value in this sequence given by this. So that's how you will solve this problem. Question number 8, part A. A is the point minus 2, 1, B is the point 3, 3. Find the length of line AB. So your length will be the x2 minus x1, which is 3 minus minus 2 whole square, then plus y2 minus y1, which is 3 minus 1 whole square, and then square root of this value. So this will become minus and minus will become plus. 3 plus 2, 5 square, plus 3 minus 1 is 2, which is 2 square. So this is 25 plus 4 square root, or square root of 29. So square root of 29 will be 5.385. So we can write it as 5.39 up to 3 significant figures. Part 2 is ABCD is a square with sides AB, BC, CD, and DA. Point C is below the x-axis. Find the coordinates of point C. So let me quickly draw the axis to help you visualize this problem. You can do that as well in your paper. So now you have A is -2 and 1. So if this is 0, -1, -2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So -2 and 1 will be somewhere here. This is A, -2 and 1. And what are the coordinates of B? 3 and 3. So 1, 2, 3. So 3 and 3 will be somewhere here, right? B is 3 and 3. So this is AB is one side of this square ABCD. So AB is one side, then BC is other side, CD and DA. And point C is below the x-axis. That means if this is AB, so let me actually connect the two lines, two dots here. So this is AB, and for the point C to be below x-axis, that means our square is somewhere down here like this, right? If the square is on the other side like this, the point C will go above x-axis. So for the point C to be below the x-axis, your square will be below this line AB. So AB is a point and then BC is a point. AB is a line, one side, BC is the other side. That means that point C is connected to point B. So if I draw a line at 90-degree angle here, your point C should be here somewhere, and then another line at 90-degree angle, your point D will be somewhere here, and you have one side DA, this side BC, this side CD, and this side AB. So your C cannot be here, although it is below x-axis, but then your A is not connected to C. A is connected to D. B is connected to C. So C is somewhere here. Now this is a problem of vectors now. So if I look at the vector AB, what is vector AB here? You're going how many positions in the positive x direction? How much do you travel? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 1 unit, this is 2 units, 3, 4, and 5. Or you can simply subtract the x coordinates as well. 3 minus minus 2 will become 3 plus 2, which is 5. So in the x direction, you go positive 5, and in the y direction, you go 3 minus 1, which is 2. So this is your vector AB. Now you have to find a vector. Since this is a square, the other vector BC will have the same length as AB, but it will be at a 90-degree angle like this, going in this direction. Now if you look at vectors, let me take a simpler example. Let's look at this vector, which is, let me draw it here. So let's look at this vector, this red line. This is a separate vector. So what is this vector? It's going 3 in the x direction and 0 in the y direction. So this is what? 3, 0. Now if I take a vector that is 90-degree and going in this direction and same length, that means 1, 2, and 3. So it will end up at -2. So -1, and if I keep extending here, so -2. So what is this vector? This is, let me actually write it in green. So this vector is what? 0 in x direction goes -3 in y, right? So the red vector here is 3 in x and 0 in y. And then if you take another vector which is 90-degree, you basically swap the positions of x and y, right? If you went in this direction at 90 degree, it would have been 0, 3. This one would have been 0, 3 in the upward direction. In the direction downwards, it is 0, minus 3. So you basically swap the xy values of the vector to get a vector that is at a 90-degree angle. And depending upon if you're going upwards or downwards, you decide you put a negative sign or not. So we will do something similar here for BC to find vector BC. So let me just get rid of this. So this is 0.3, this is 0.1. AB is 5, 2. That means BC, I will swap the two positions, 2 and 5. So your BC is something like this, right? You're going, actually, let me draw a solid line. So this is your BC. So you're going some value in positive X, which is 2, and then you're going some value, this is positive X, and then you're going some value in the negative Y direction. So negative 5, you have negative 5 here because you want to come down below the x-axis. So your magnitude BC remains. So if you take the magnitude of AB or take the magnitude of BC, the lengths are same because it is a square. And since this is a 90-degree angle, you swap the positions, and depending upon whether you want to go in this direction or in this direction, you will add a negative sign. Since we are going in this direction in negative y, your y value will be negative here. If we were going in this direction, it would have been minus 2 and plus 5. That would have resulted C somewhere here, which would have made a 90-degree angle, but it would not have been below x-axis. Since you're given that your point C is below x-axis, your vector BC will be 2 and minus 5. So you know that coordinates of B are 3 and 3, and your vector BC is 2 and minus 5. So simply you will add, so your position vector for B is 3, 3, and then your vector BC is plus 2 and minus 5. You will add these two to get the position vector of C. In other words, you know that vector BC is given by position vector OC, the second one, minus the first position vector of the first letter here, which is B, which is OB. And from this, OC is what? BC plus OB. And that is what I am doing here. BC is what? 2 and minus 5. And OB is what? The position vector of point B is 3, 3. So 3 plus 2 is 5. And minus 5 plus 3 is minus 2. So your points of C will be 5, coordinates of C will be 5 and minus 2. So minus 2 here and 5 here. So 5 and minus 2. So that's how you will find, you'll first find vector BC using the information given about points A and B. You found AB, and you know that BC would be same length as AB, 90 degree, and below in this direction because your point C is below x-axis. So you found vector BC, and then simply you add BC to your position vector of B, which is 3, 3, to get to point C, to get the coordinates of C. So coordinates of C will be 5 and minus 2. And your square will look something like this. If you want to complete this, it will be something like this. I won't calculate coordinates of point D, but this is your square ABCD. Head sides AB, BC, CD, and DA, and coordinate point C is below the x-axis here. Part B is P is the point minus 7, 8, Q is the point 9, 4. Find the coordinates of midpoint of PQ. So midpoint will be simply add the x coordinates minus 7 plus 9 divided by 2, add the y coordinates and divide by 2. So 9 minus 7 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. 8 plus 4, 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 1 and 6. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of PQ. So if you have this line PQ, you know the 2 points. Perpendicular bisector will pass through this midpoint M. I already know the coordinates of midpoint M, so I know one point that lies on this perpendicular bisector, and I can find the gradient of this perpendicular bisector by calculating the gradient of PQ, and you know that the product of gradients of two perpendicular lines is -1. So first let's find gradient PQ. y2 minus y1, 8 minus 4 over x2 minus x1 minus 7 minus 9. So this will be 4 over minus 16, which is minus 1 over 4. So this is your gradient of PQ. So gradient of PQ multiplied by gradient of this perpendicular bisector. So gradient of perpendicular bisector will equal -1. So this is -1 by 4 multiplied by, let's call this gradient M2, just because I don't want to write the whole thing again, is -1. So M2 will be the gradient of perpendicular bisector. I'll take this to the other side, so this will be 4. So this is your gradient of this perpendicular bisector. You know one point on the line is 1, 6. So your equation of the line will be y minus y1, which is 6, equals to gradient into x minus x1, which is 1. So y minus 6 will be equal to 4x minus 4. And if I take this 6 to the other side, I will get y equals to 4x plus 2. So y equals to 4x plus 2 is the equation of the perpendicular bisector of PQ. Question number 9, A, B, C are points on the circle with center O. X is the midpoint of AB. So X is the midpoint. That means this length AX equals to XB. And since this line from the center is bisecting this chord into two equal halves, we know that this angle will be 90 degree. It's the one of the properties of angular properties of circles, that if a line from the center of circle bisects a chord, it will make a 90-degree angle with the chord. Since we are told that x is the midpoint, that means AX equals to XB. This line is bisecting the chord, so this angle that it makes with the chord is 90 degree. And Y is the midpoint of BC. So similarly, this angle will be 90 degree as well, because BC is being bisected by this line into two equal halves. And we are told AB is BC equals to BC. So then CY and BY will be also be equal to AX and BX. Since this whole length is equal and it is split in half, and this whole length is equals to this whole length AB, and it is also split in half. So each of these four smaller segments, AX is equals to XB equals to BY equals to YC. Show that triangle AOX is congruent to triangle BOY. So AOX is this triangle, and the other one is BOY is this one. So you have to show that these two triangles are congruent. So let's look at the lengths here. So straight away we can say that AO equals to OB, because both are radius of circles. So OA equals to OB. Both are radii of the circle. Then we can also say AX equals to BY. AX equals to BY, because X and Y are midpoints. X and Y are midpoints, and you're given that AB is equals to BC, and AB equals to BC is given. So that ensures that this length AX is equals to this length BY. Then OX is also equals to OY. OX equals to OY. The reason is you have two chords AB and BC. They are equal. And you know one of the circle properties is that the distance, perpendicular distance of two chords that are equal in length is same from the center of the circle. Since AB of this, the chord AB is the same length as BC, their perpendicular distances from the center will be same. So the perpendicular distance of AB from center is OX, and the perpendicular distance of BC from the center is OY. And these distances are equal because the chords are equal in length, which is given to you. So OX equals to AY. You can say equal chords have same distance from the center of circle. So this is the SSS property. You don't have to write that, but since all three lengths are equal, that means triangles are congruent. The circle has radius 4 centimeter, AB is 7. Calculate angle BOA. So you're given radius is 4, so this length is 4, this length is 4, and you're given AB is 7. AB is 7. So let me erase this. If I look at this triangle ABO, I know this side is 4, this side is 4, and this side is 7, and I need to calculate this angle BOA. BOA. So I know all three sides of the triangle. I can use the cosine rule to find this angle. So the side opposite to this angle is this 7. So I will have 7 square equals to, the other two sides are 4. So 4 square plus 4 square minus 2 times 4 into 4 times cos of angle BOA. So let's solve this. 7 square. I'll take the two 4 squares to the other side. So 7 square minus 4 square minus 4 square equals to 17. 4 twos are 8, 8 fours are 32, minus 32 cos BOA. So let's calculate angle BOA from this. So 17 divided by minus 32 and then cos inverse. So this is 122.08995513, and I can write it as 122.1 degree up to one decimal place. So 122.1 degree. Next part is calculate the shaded area. So you know that this angle is 122.1 degree now, and so these two triangles are same. We have already shown that this is congruent to this and this is the same. So all four of these small triangles are exactly the same. So basically I will find this shaded area and multiply it by 2 because this other side is exactly the same as this one. So I can find the area of this sector ABO and then subtract the area of this triangle AOB, this inner red triangle. This will give me the remaining area in the sector, which is this shaded region. And then I can multiply it by 2 to get the other area. So what is the area of this sector? Your radius is 4. The angle is 122.1 degrees. So shaded area will be, what is the area of sector? 122.1 over 360 degree into pi r square. R is, radius is 4. So this is the area of this blue sector. Now I will subtract the area of this red triangle. I can use, so I know these two sides are 4 and the angle between them is 122.1 degrees. So using the formula, so minus the area of triangle, 1 by 2 into 4 multiplied by the sine of angle between the two sides that I'm using. So the angle between them is 122.1, right? So this is the area of this red triangle. 1 by 2 into this 4 into sine of the angle between them, which is 122.1. So if I subtract this red from this blue, I get the shaded area. And to get this other shaded area, which is the same, so I'll just simply multiply it by 2. So this gives me one of the shaded areas, which is this one here. So I will simply multiply it by 2 to get the total shaded area, right? So this equation will now give me my shaded area. So let's calculate this. 122.1 divided by 360 into pi into 4 square is 16, and then minus uh, 1 over 2 into 4 into sine of 122.1. Oops. So minus, I think I added an extra bracket. 1 by 2 into 4 into sine of 122.1. So this is 2 into 10.2714, and if I multiply it by 2, which is 20.5428, so up to 3 significant figures I can write it as 20.54 centimeter square. So this is your shaded area, 20.54 centimeter square. Question 10, part A. Farah and Abid each play a number game. They both start with the same number. Farah subtracts 4 from the starting number and multiplies by the result by 11. Abid multiplies the starting number by 5 and adds 1. Farah and Abid both end up with the same answer. Form an equation and solve it to find their starting number. So we have Farah and Abid. So they both start with the same number. So let's call that number x. So they both start with x and x. So Farah subtracts 4 minus 4 from the starting number and multiplies the result by 11. So what is the result of x minus 4? You multiply whatever the result, Farah multiplied it by 11. Subtract 4, get the result, and multiply the result. So x minus 4, you have to multiply x minus 4 by 11, not just the starting number. You first have to subtract, and whatever the answer, multiply it by 11. So Abid multiplies the starting number by 5, so you get 5x, and then adds 1. So you multiplied it by 5 first, and then afterwards you added 1 to it. And then you're told that they both end up with the same answer. So that means this is equals to this because they end up with the same answer. So 11 into x minus 4 equals to 5x plus 1. Find the starting number. So x is your starting number. You have an equation in x. So let's solve for x. 11x minus 44 equals to 5x plus 1. Bring this 5x here. 11x minus 5x equals to 44 plus 1. 11 minus 5 will be 6x equals to 45, and x will be 45 divided by 6. So this gives you x equals to 7.5. So 7.5 is their starting number. Rearrange the formula to make C the subject. So let's cross multiply. I will take this a in C plus 1 to the other side. So this will become a into C plus 1. Open this bracket, you'll get 4b minus bc. Open this bracket as well, ac plus a equals to 4b minus bc. Now since I have to make C the subject, I will take all the C terms to one side and the other terms to the other side. So let's bring this BC here, AC plus BC, and take this A to the other side. So I will have 4B minus A. Take C common, A plus B equals to 4B minus A, and C equals to, take this A plus B to the other side, it will be divided. So it will come down in the denominator A plus B. So your final answer is C equals to 4B minus A divided by A plus B. Expressed as a single fraction in its simplest form. So let's take the LCM. Your LCM will be the product of the two denominators, 3x minus 2, 1 minus x. So this 5 will be multiplied by 1 minus x, minus 4 will be multiplied by the other denominator, 3x minus 2. So let's open the bracket. I will have 5 minus 5x minus 12x. Minus and minus becomes plus, 4 twos are 8. And the denominator as it is. So 8 plus 5 is 17. Sorry, 8 plus 5 is 13. Minus 12 minus 5 is minus 17x. And then the denominator as it is. So your answer is 13 minus 17x over 3x plus 2. Sorry, 3x minus 2. Multiplied by 1 minus x. If you want, you can open the brackets in the denominator as well, but I'll leave it as it is. So this is your final answer, which is a single fraction in its simplest form. So this was the last question of this paper. That's the end of this paper.